Shekinah and Sarper finally divorce announced. 90-day fiancé. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I hope you are well. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. When viewers first met Shekinah Garner and Sarper Guven on 90-day fiancé, the other way, they instantly became one of the most talked about couples in the franchise. Their chemistry, their controversies, and their dramatic arguments quickly made them reality TV icons. But now, after months of speculation, it has finally been confirmed. Shekinah and Sarper are getting divorced. This shocking announcement sent waves across the fan community. How did we get here? What exactly went wrong? And what does this mean for both of them moving forward? In this first part of our deep dive, we'll go back to the beginning, exploring their backgrounds, their journey on 90-day fiancé, and the red flags that fans noticed long before the divorce papers were filed. Before she joined the 90-day fiancé world, Shekinah Garner was already used to being in the spotlight. A licensed esthetician and mother from Los Angeles, Shekinah was known for her glamorous lifestyle, love of luxury, and strong personality. She was outspoken, unapologetic, and had no problem saying exactly what was on her mind. Her daughter was always her top priority, but Shekinah made it clear that she was ready to put herself first in love. When she introduced herself to viewers, she admitted she had a type: tall, dark, handsome, and preferably with a mysterious edge. That's when she found Sarper. Sarper Guven, on the other hand, came with his own bold reputation. A former model and personal trainer from Istanbul, Sarper immediately grabbed viewers' attention with his confidence, or, as some would say, arrogance. He described himself as a ladies' man, admitting he had dated over 2,500 women before meeting Shekinah. For many fans, that statement was the first red flag. Sarper was charming, good-looking, and confident, but was he really ready for commitment? Or was he just another smooth talker who enjoyed the chase? Regardless, Shekinah fell for him, and their whirlwind romance began. Their relationship started with intense passion. From the moment they met, Shekinah was captivated by Sarper's energy, his lifestyle, and his devotion to fitness. Sarper, in turn, was drawn to Shekinah's beauty, her independence, and her willingness to challenge him in ways other women hadn't. But as the cameras rolled, fans quickly realized that passion wasn't the only thing this couple had in abundance. They also had drama. One of the biggest storylines on 90-day fiancé, the other way, was Sarper's controlling behavior. He wanted Shekinah to live by his rules, whether it was about her clothing, her social life, or even her body. At one point, Sarper admitted that he wanted Shekinah to maintain a certain weight, even suggesting she shouldn't gain more than a few pounds. He also insisted that she cut off male friends, telling her that a woman in a relationship shouldn't have male friends. On top of that, he regularly made decisions without considering her input, leaving fans furious on her behalf. Shekinah pushed back, but it was clear that their dynamic was far from equal. Viewers debated endlessly. Was this just cultural differences, or was Sarper showing signs of being manipulative and controlling? Shekinah's daughter and family were also skeptical of the relationship. They worried that Sarper's values clashed with Shekinah's. While Shekinah was more progressive and outspoken, Sarper came across as traditional and strict. During one memorable scene, Shekinah's family expressed concern that Sarper wasn't treating her with the respect she deserved. Fans echoed these concerns on social media, calling him Red Flag Central and warning Shekinah to run before it was too late. Despite the obvious problems, fans couldn't stop watching. The chemistry between Shekinah and Sarper was undeniable. They fought, they made up, and then they fought again. Every episode with them was full of fireworks. Their story was classic 90-day fiancé: love against the odds, cultural clashes, family drama, and explosive arguments. Some viewers were rooting for them to make it, while others predicted disaster from the very beginning. Being on reality TV adds a layer of stress to any relationship. For Shekinah and Sarper, the pressure was multiplied. Millions of fans were watching their every move, dissecting every word, and judging every argument. Shekinah admitted in interviews that the criticism got to her at times. While she was no stranger to attention, Having strangers weigh in on her relationship 24/7 wasn't easy. Sarper, meanwhile, seemed to thrive on the attention, but it also fueled his need to appear in control at all times. Looking back now, it's easy to see the cracks forming. Jealousy and possessiveness. Sarper didn't like the idea of Shekinah talking to other men, even casually. Body image pressure. His comments about her weight and appearance were relentless. Clashing personalities. Shekinah's independence clashed with Sarper's desire for dominance. Family disapproval. Without her family's blessing, Shekinah felt torn between love and loyalty. Despite these warning signs, they pushed forward. Love, or at least lust, was keeping them together. Every 90-day fiancé couple reaches a breaking point, and for Shekinah and Sarper, it came when the arguments outweighed the passion. Viewers saw Shekinah grow increasingly frustrated with Sarper's unwillingness to compromise. She wanted a partner, not a dictator. One explosive fight became the talk of the season, when Shekinah accused Sarper of treating her like one of his fitness clients instead of his partner. Sarper fired back, claiming he was only trying to help her be the best version of herself. To fans, it was clear. What Sarper called help, Shekinah experienced as control. When the news broke that Shekinah Garner and Sarper Guven had officially divorced, the 90-day fiancé fanbase erupted. Social media lit up with posts, memes, and debates. For months, rumors had been swirling that their relationship was on shaky ground. Still, many fans were shocked to learn it was truly over. Some weren't surprised at all. After all, the red flags were there from the beginning. But others hoped that the couple's fiery passion might translate into resilience. Instead, it ended in separation, court documents, and an official end to one of the most talked-about romances in franchise history. But to understand how it all came to this, we need to rewind and explore their life after the cameras stopped rolling. Once filming wrapped for 90-Day Fiancé, the other way, Shekinah made the bold move to stay in Istanbul with Sarper. Fans thought this decision would either make or break the relationship. At first, their life together seemed glamorous. They posted pictures from rooftop restaurants, boat rides on the Bosphorus, and luxury vacations. On Instagram, it looked like a fairy tale. But behind the filters and captions, their reality was far from perfect. The problems that viewers saw on television didn't magically disappear. If anything, they became more pronounced without the cameras to hold them accountable. Sarper continued to push his views about Shekinah's appearance, fitness, and lifestyle. Shekinah, who had always been fiercely independent, began to feel stifled. Arguments that once ended in reconciliation now dragged on for days. The couple was caught in a cycle, passionate highs followed by exhausting lows. One of the biggest issues that plagued their marriage was control. Sarper believed he was simply guiding his wife toward a healthier, more disciplined life. Shekinah felt he was trying to mold her into someone she wasn't. Sarper's jealousy also deepened. Reports suggest he became increasingly suspicious whenever Shekinah interacted with male colleagues, or even acquaintances. This created a tense environment where Shekinah felt she had to walk on eggshells. Cultural clashes, which had been entertaining to viewers, became real-life obstacles. Sarper valued tradition and authority in a relationship, while Shekinah valued freedom and equality. What made for good television made for poor communication in marriage. Shekinah's family never fully trusted Sarper, and distance only made things worse. They felt she had sacrificed too much for him, while he gave little in return. Whenever Shekinah visited the U.S., her family reportedly urged her to reconsider the marriage. Being reality stars comes with an invisible audience. Every fight they had risked becoming a trending topic. Fans often dissected their Instagram posts, analyzing body language, captions, and even the frequency of pictures together. If Shekinah didn't appear in Sarper's feed for a week, speculation began. Are they over? This constant surveillance added fuel to their struggles. Shekinah reportedly hated how fans portrayed her as a victim of Sarper's dominance, while Sarper grew defensive at being labeled toxic and controlling. Instead of bringing them closer, social media became another wedge. Every marriage has arguments, but for Shekinah and Sarper, one particular fight became the breaking point. According to insiders close to production, The fight centered around Shekinah's career. She had an opportunity to expand her esthetician business and spend more time in Los Angeles. Sarper opposed it, believing she should remain in Turkey full-time. This clash of priorities, her career versus his desire for control, spiraled into a series of explosive arguments. Friends say that for the first time, Shekinah began openly talking about divorce. Her exact words reportedly were, "I didn't leave my whole life behind to become someone's prisoner. If this is marriage, I don't want it." The official divorce announcement came in a joint statement released through a media outlet and confirmed by TLC insiders. The statement read, "After much thought and consideration, we have decided to part ways. We love and respect each other but realize we are not compatible as husband and wife. We ask for privacy as we navigate this transition." The statement was diplomatic, but fans weren't buying it. They wanted the truth. Why did it really end? The fanbase exploded with mixed emotions. Team Shekinah supporters celebrated her newfound freedom, saying she deserved better. Team Sarper fans accused Shekinah of being dramatic and too influenced by outsiders. Neutral fans just felt sad that another 90-day fiancé couple bit the dust. Social media personalities and even former cast members weighed in. Some called the split inevitable, while others praised Shekinah for choosing herself. After the divorce, Shekinah returned to Los Angeles with her daughter. She threw herself back into work, relaunching her business with a stronger brand identity. On Instagram, she started sharing motivational posts about independence and self-love. She also began hinting that she might write a book about her 90-day fiancé experience, something fans would undoubtedly devour. Sarper, on the other hand, stayed in Turkey. He continued his work as a fitness trainer and occasionally posted cryptic quotes about loyalty and respect. While he still had loyal fans, many criticized him for not reflecting on his role in the divorce. Rumors swirled about him dating again, but nothing has been confirmed. Shekinah and Sarper's split has a ripple effect on the 90-day fiancé universe. Storyline legacy. Their relationship will likely be remembered as one of the most explosive and controversial in the franchise. Future appearances. Fans speculate that Shekinah may return for 90-day, The Single Life. Sarper might appear in a Where Are They Now? Special. Franchise reputation. Their divorce adds to the growing list of couples who couldn't make it, reminding fans that reality TV romance is rarely built to last. When we strip away the drama, the core reasons for the divorce become clear. Control versus independence. Sarper wanted authority, Shekinah wanted freedom. Cultural gaps. Their values were fundamentally misaligned. Public scrutiny. Living under the microscope of reality TV and social media amplified every issue. Lack of compromise. Neither was willing to bend enough to make the marriage sustainable. Love, no matter how intense, isn't enough without compatibility. Every love story has an ending. For some couples, that ending is a lifetime of companionship. For others, it is heartbreak, lessons, and the chance to start again. The marriage of Shekinah Garner and Sarper Given, once one of the most passionate, controversial, and talked about relationships in the 90-day fiancé universe, has now reached its final act. Their divorce was more than just a breakup. It was the culmination of years of cultural clashes, family drama, and the intense scrutiny of reality TV fame. But endings are never simple. After the papers were signed, what happened next? How did Shekinah and Sarper rebuild their lives, and what legacy did they leave behind? In this final deep dive, we'll explore the aftermath, behind-the-scenes secrets, fan theories, and lasting impact of their story. This is not just the end of a relationship, it is the end of an era for 90-day fiancé. For Shekinah, the divorce was both painful and liberating. She had poured herself into the relationship, moving across the world and sacrificing comfort for love. But in the end, she realized that choosing herself was not selfish, it was survival. Back in Los Angeles, Shekinah refocused on her career as an esthetician. She rebranded her business, introducing wellness services alongside beauty treatments. Her social media shifted from showcasing luxury dates in Istanbul to promoting independence, empowerment, and self-care. She also reconnected deeply with her daughter, making family time her priority. In interviews, Shekinah admitted that the divorce forced her to reflect on what kind of role model she wanted to be. "I want my daughter to see that no matter how much you love someone, you don't have to lose yourself in the process." Sarper, meanwhile, chose silence. While Shekinah spoke openly about moving forward, Sarper remained cryptic. His Instagram posts were vague quotes about loyalty, strength, and betrayal. He rarely addressed the divorce directly, fueling speculation that he still struggled with the outcome. Friends suggested that Sarper's pride made it difficult for him to admit defeat. For a man who once bragged about dating thousands of women, losing the relationship that defined his TV fame was a heavy blow. He continued his work as a fitness trainer, but without Shekinah, his online persona felt noticeably quieter. Every reality show has footage that never airs. Crew members hinted that Shekinah and Sarper's fights were even more intense off-camera. Producers allegedly had to step in multiple times when arguments escalated. One insider claimed, "What you saw on TV was just a fraction. The real tension between them was constant. They were either passionately in love or at each other's throats. There was no middle ground." Other 90 Day Fiancé cast members had mixed feelings about the divorce. Some expressed support for Shekinah, praising her courage to walk away. Others defended Sarper, saying cultural differences played a bigger role than fans realized. Behind closed doors, some cast members speculated that TLC had pushed their storyline harder than others because of its volatility. Drama sells, and Shekinah and Sarper provided plenty of it. A popular fan theory suggests that Shekinah and Sarper exaggerated their conflicts for the cameras. Some believe the divorce itself may have been accelerated or even staged to secure another spin-off. While there's no concrete evidence, the timing of the announcement during peak franchise buzz raised eyebrows. Rumors circulated that both Shekinah and Sarper had new partners before the divorce was finalized. While Shekinah denied dating anyone seriously, tabloids speculated about her reconnecting with an old flame in Los Angeles. Sarper, on the other hand, was spotted with a female client at a nightclub in Istanbul, sparking gossip. Some fans remain convinced the story isn't over. After all, 90 Day Fiancé couples have reconciled after divorces before. Shekinah and Sarper's intense chemistry makes it easy to imagine a reunion, but their differences make it almost impossible to sustain. For Shekinah, motherhood has always been central. During her marriage to Sarper, she often felt torn between her daughter's needs and her husband's expectations. Post-divorce, she found clarity. Her social media is now filled with posts about family bonding, school milestones, and celebrating her daughter's growth. Fans have praised her transformation from reality star embroiled in toxic arguments to a mother focusing on stability and love. For Sarper, the divorce posed a challenge to his identity. On the show, he built his persona around confidence, control, and discipline. Divorce, however, forced him into vulnerability, a state he rarely allowed himself. Sources close to him say he struggled with loneliness after Shekinah left. Though surrounded by clients and admirers, his home life felt empty. For a man who once seemed to have everything, losing the woman he tried to control left him questioning his own choices. Fans often compare Shekinah and Sarper to other controversial couples in the franchise. Like Angela and Michael, they had cultural clashes and control issues. Like Jesse and Darcy, they had explosive chemistry but constant fights. Like Colt and Larissa, their relationship became iconic for its drama rather than its love. 5.2 Shaping audience perceptions. Their story also raised conversations about deeper issues. Control in relationships. When does guidance become manipulation? Body image pressures. How harmful can weight and appearance demands be? Cultural expectations. Can love truly bridge fundamentally different values? By exposing these dynamics on television, Shekinah and Sarper became more than just entertainment. They became a mirror reflecting real relationship struggles. Love is not enough. Passion cannot sustain a relationship without respect and compromise. Independence matters. Losing yourself in love is never worth the cost. Cultural awareness is key. Relationships across backgrounds require patience, empathy, and flexibility. Public pressure can destroy, Living under constant scrutiny magnifies even the smallest problems. The love story of Shekinah and Sarper began with fire. It captivated audiences, sparked debates, and left viewers torn between fascination and frustration. But in the end, the same fire that drew them together consumed their marriage. Their divorce is not just the end of their journey together. It is also a reminder for viewers that behind every reality TV storyline lies real people with real consequences. Shekinah walks away stronger, more independent, and determined to set an example for her daughter. Sarper remains in Istanbul, still proud, still enigmatic, but perhaps privately reflecting on the one relationship that challenged him more than any before. And fans? They are left with a story that will be remembered long after the cameras stopped rolling, a love story that burned brightly, ended abruptly, but left unforgettable lessons in its ashes.